Question number 9. Function f and g are defined as follow. F of x is equals to cos of x for x is less than and equal to pi and greater than and equal to 0. G of x is equals to 3 cos of x minus pi plus 2 for x is less than and equal to 2 pi and greater than and equal to pi. So this is the domain for g of x and this is the domain for f of x. Describe fully the transformation that has been combined to transform the graph of y is equal to f of x to the graph of y is equal to g of x. When we need to describe the transformation, we need to follow these sequence. When describing the transformation f of x transform to the g of x, so first we will find out the vertical stretch, then vertical shift, then horizontal stretch, then horizontal shift. When we are given f of x and we need to convert into some other transformation, then we will follow this order: horizontal shift, then horizontal stretch, then vertical stretch, then vertical shift. For example, when we have the f of x and we need to find g of x, so we have to apply 4 transformation like vertical stretch, vertical shift, horizontal stretch, and horizontal shift. So the factor a, k, b, h involved in this function will transform the f of x into g of x. Okay, so you can see that this a is the vertical stretch and b is the horizontal stretch, which is f of b, and x minus h is the horizontal shift and plus k is the vertical shift. Okay, now we know that this function can be written as f of a f of b times x minus h plus k, and we know that a is the vertical stretch, b is the horizontal stretch, and h is the horizontal shift and k is the vertical shift. So when we compare these f of x and g of x, we can say that g of x is equals to the 3 cos of x minus pi plus 3. You can see that this 3 is the vertical stretch, this pi is horizontal shift, and this 3 is vertical shift, where there is no any component which involve horizontal stretch. Okay, we are given both f of x and g of x, and we need to describe, when we need to describe the transformation, we will follow vertical stretch, then vertical shifting, horizontal stretch, horizontal shifting. So first we will define vertical stretch. So there is a stretch of vertical stretch by the factor 3, vertical stretch by 3, then and then we have the two component, which is horizontal shifting and vertical shifting. So we can write both at a time. So we can write then shifting by vertical shifting is by 3 vertically and shifting by pi horizontally. Okay, I made a mistake. So this one is 2. So this one is 2. So vertical shifting is by 2. So we can write vertical stretch by factor 3, then the shifting or translation by x component, which is pi, and the y component, which is this one is 2, 2, 2. So this describes the transformation of f of x into g of x. Okay, let's move to the part B. On the given axis is sketch the graph of y is equal to f of x and y is equal to g of x. We are given that f of x is equals to cos of x and the domain of x is from 0 to pi. F of x equals to cos of x and x is less than and equal to pi and greater than and equal to 0. x is equal to 0. So this cos of 0 is equals to 1. When x is equal to pi by 2, then cos of pi by 2 is equals to the 0. When x is equals to pi, then cos of pi is equals to the negative 1. This is pi by 2, and we know that when x is equal to 0, then we have cos of this one is 1. So this will be like this, and at pi, x is equal to pi, it will be negative 1. So this one is negative 1. Now we need to plot g of x. G of x is 3 cos of x minus pi plus 2 pi plus 2. So g of x is equals to 3 cos of x minus pi plus 2. X is less than and equal to 2 pi and greater than and equal to pi. So first we plug pi, x is pi, then 3 cos of x minus, x means pi minus pi plus 2. This is g of x, and this one is equals to the pi minus pi is 0, so cos of 0 is 1, so 3 times 1 is, so it will be 5. When x is 3 pi by 2, we will have g of 3 pi by 2, and this one is equals to 3 cos of 3 pi by 2 minus pi plus 2. Further solving, we will have 3 cos of pi by 2 plus 2, and we know that cos pi by 2 is 0, so it will be 2. Another point we will get, when x is equals to 2 pi, then we will have g of 2 pi, which is equals to the 3 cos of 2 pi minus pi plus 2, and g of 2 pi is equals to 3 cos of pi plus 2, and cos of pi is negative 1, so 3 times negative 1 plus 2, and this one is equals to negative 1. So we have 3 points. For example, this is 5. When x is equal to pi, we will have g of x 5, so this one is pi and 5. When we have x is equal to 3 pi by 2 in middle, then we will have g of x equals to 2, this one is 2. And when we have x is equal to 2 pi, we will have g of x is negative 1, so this one is negative 1. So this one will be, so this is the graph of g of x, and this one is the graph of. Now C, find g of inverse of f of 1 over 3 pi. Okay, f of x, which is equals to cos of x, and we have g of x, which is equals to 3 cos of x minus pi plus 2. We need to find the g inverse of f of 1 over 3 pi. We already have f of x. We don't have the inverse of g. We first convert the g of x into the g inverse of x. So we need to find g inverse of x. So we have g of x, which is equals to 3 cos of x minus pi plus 2. Step 1, equate g of x as y. So y is equals to 3 cos of x minus pi plus 2. Okay. Step 2, interchange the variable. X become y and y become x. So x is equals to 3 cos of y minus pi plus 2. Step 3, rearrange to make y the subject. X is equal to 3 cos of y minus pi plus 2. When we switch 2 on the left side, we will have x minus 2 is equal to 3 cos of y minus pi. Further solving, 3 is multiple, so when we switch on the left side, it will be divided. So x minus 2 over 3 is equal to cos of y minus pi. Now taking cos inverse to find the value of y, apply cos inverse both sides. We will have cos inverse of x minus 2 over 3 equals to y minus pi, and y is become equals to the cos inverse of x minus 2 over 3 plus pi. So this is the y, which is also equals to g of inverse of x. So we have calculated g inverse of x. Now, okay, first we need to find f of pi by 3. So we know that f of x is equals to cos of x. So f of pi by 3 is equals to cos of pi by 3, and this one is equals to the 1 over 2. So we have f of pi by 3, which is 1 over 2. Now we need to find g inverse of f of pi by 3. So g inverse of f of pi by 3 is equals to the f of pi by 3 is 1 over 2. So we can say that g inverse of 1 over 2. And we know that g inverse of x is equals to the cos inverse of x minus 2, means 1 over 2 minus 2 over 3 plus pi. And this one is equals to the cos inverse of 1 minus 4 over 2 over 3 and plus pi. And this one is equals to the cos inverse of negative 3 over 6 plus pi 1 over 2 equals to cos inverse of negative zero point 0.5 plus pi. Cos inverse of negative 0.5 is 120 degree or 2 pi by 3 plus pi. So this one is equals to 5 pi over 3. So we can say that this one is equal to 5 pi over 3. Let's move to the part D. Explain why the composite function f of g of cannot be formed. Okay, we know that f of g is equals to f of g of x, and we know that g of x is equals to the 3 cos of x minus pi plus 2, and in this case x is less than and equals to 2 pi and greater than and equal to pi. So when we plug this value of x in given cos of function, cos has the maximum value 1 and minimum value negative 1, and when multiply by 3, so g of x will have the range of g of x is negative 1 to 5. This is the maximum value we can achieve from g of x when we plug x is less than and equal to 4 pi and greater than and equal to pi. So this is the range of x. This range of g of x is domain of f of x in f of g of x. But f of x is equals to cos of x, where the domain of f of x is less than and equal to pi and greater than and equal to 0. We know that the range of g of x, which is negative 1 to 5, should be equals to the domain of f of x, which is 0 to pi. So we can say that domain of f of x is 0 to pi. When comparing these two values, we can say that domain of f of x is subset of the range of g of x. So f of g of x or fg cannot be formed.